Welcome. Kicking it with Coach K podcast. This is episode, Josh, what are we at here? 30. We're on episode 37, our last one of 2023. We have a great guest on with us today. We're going to dive in right here with JF Quintin. I believe that's how it's pronounced, correct?
Exactly.
We're going to dive in with our guest right here in a minute after we pay some bills. This show is brought to you by Brain Jerk Entertainment and Kennedy Health and Wellness. Welcome to the Brain Jerk era. These guys have a ton going on right now. Make sure you check out their social medias. They've got various events that are coming up, including helping us with our coaching clinic coming up in February. Obviously, we kicked off our new Pillar Talk show. Well, the Pillar Talk Reloaded, we're back at it. That's every Wednesday at 7. Make sure you guys go check that out. Also, all the great content of the podcast network. You can find that stuff wherever you find this show right here. You can find all their great content, so make sure you check them out. Kennedy Health Wellness, your one-stop shop, everything wellness from body care to candles. Just some new news coming up. We're going to have an office down here with these guys with select inventory and some different things we're going to be able to do up here. Stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys visit us at kennedyhealthwellness.com. This show is sponsored by various different businesses and people in our community that do a lot for our student athletes. I make sure to make that a point every episode, just to pay them their respects, not only for what they do for our community and in business and economically, but also what they do for our kids and our student athletes. Amaya's Fresh Mexican Grill, the Little Brown Jug, Lane's Pizzeria, IWR, Nerdy Designs, All Hard Athletics, Monroe County Sports Network, 1817 CrossFit, Big Back Prep, and Backroad Baggers. Before we get into our quote and then dive in with our guest here, one thing I just want to bring up is we have a coaching clinic coming up on February 10th for those of you in the Monroe County and Downriver area. Doesn't matter what sport, what level. We've been announcing stuff on that all on social media throughout the week. Make sure you guys go check that out. There's select tickets available. Again, this event's brought to you by Brain Jerk, Kennedy Health and Wellness. This will be at Cilantro. So big shout out to Cilantro. They're a part of this. 8 Mile Vodka, Monroe County Sports Network, All Hard Athletics. I hope I'm not missing anybody. But, again, just a great event for coaches to come together and learn. We got Coach Parker coming in to speak. Shout out to Coach Parker at University of Toledo. Coach Harris over at Harper Woods. And we've got some other stuff in the works right now as far as speakers go that we'll continue to announce. So, again, February 10th, coaches, tap in. Need to see you guys at Cilantro. And if you are looking for information, check us out on social media. Our quote of the day: to win the game is great, to play the game is greater, to love the game is the greatest of all. That's by Bob O'Connor. Chose that quote because somebody with the type of resume that our guest has and the longevity of doing something, you got to love the game, right? So we thought that quote was fitting today for our guest, for you, JF. So, my man, we always start this just real simple. We just welcome you in. We want to know a little bit about you and your story. Just give us kind of a little bit of a background of yourself.
I was born in Montreal, in a suburb of Montreal. Grew up there. I just played hockey all the time and baseball, and those were the two only sports that we played. Midget AAA, I had to go away from my home to go play Midget AAA. Played there a year. So I moved away when I was 16. Then I went and played junior in Shawinigan for 3 years. And I got drafted by the Minnesota North Stars, which was the farm team Kalamazoo, Michigan. Played there for 2 years. Then when the Sharks came in with the North Stars, whatever happened, it's a complicated story. But anyway, the Sharks picked me. So then I became the San Jose Sharks. I belonged to them. And then I played there for a couple of years, got hurt, major injury. Then I got sent down in Kansas City, which was a farm team, loved it there. Then I left to Europe to actually make some real money and loved it there too. Came back in Kansas City just to see my doctor because I had another knee injury on the other knee. And it was a carry knee injury. Next thing you know, my wife got pregnant. So stayed in Kansas City until 2019. And then I came back in Montreal, Canada since 2019.
Okay. Wow. What a journey. Quite the journey. A lot of stops on that journey. What was it like leaving? First off, what was it like leaving so young and going to experience that at a young age?
I couldn't wait. That's what I got.
You were excited to get out?
Yeah, I couldn't wait to leave. I mean, I remember we're only like 3 guys that actually lived in that town, and the other kids would drive an hour and a half for practice and for
Wow.
games. I was like, fuck that, I ain't driving. I mean, no, I'm
Right.
going there. I'll be a stud there. I'm gonna be popular, and I couldn't wait for that stuff. That lifestyle, and I never looked back. And after that, I couldn't wait to go. Got drafted in junior. I wanted to go as far as possible. I didn't want to live in, play in Montreal and for the Verdun team, which is 30 minutes. No, I want to go 2 or 3 hours away. And that's what happened. I got drafted by Shawinigan, which was 2 hours. Bam. I was lucky. I never got traded in my life. Never. So I
Really?
played. Yeah, yeah. I was very fortunate. I was in the trade block a lot, but I never got traded. So I played my full 3 years there, then my college there. Then I got traded. I got drafted by the North Stars, and I remember like it was yesterday at the draft. It was in Minnesota, and I couldn't speak fucking zero English. I was retarded when it came to English because here in Quebec at the time, English was a joke. Like if we took English class, our teacher could barely speak English. So it was. So you always want to have the English class on Friday last period, so you can open the window and lead and just say no. That's it. Well, I realized when I got drafted, I don't know that English was super important because I got drafted in Minnesota, and they were asking me all those questions and interviewing, and I couldn't say nothing. I mean, it was like I was like a zombie. I couldn't say nothing. But it was in Minnesota, so I then realized that English was really really important, and then that's when I start to improve it. But I was lucky because there was a couple of French guys there, Mario Thayer and Eddie Courtney were there, and I remember in practice, every time in practice they would say, "Okay, we need to contain the gap," and they would do drilling. Well, every time they would say that, I would think they'd say my name. So I'd be like, and Mario would be like, no, they're not saying your name. Just chill out. Just because every time they would say contain, you need to contain the gap. I thought they would say my name. What did I do? What did I do? What did I? So for about a month, I was always like, so, but yeah, so that was it. But yeah, no, I had no problem leaving. And when I got drafted in the NHL, I want to go as far as possible, and I want to go in the IHL because the team were further, and I heard that you flew more often than in American Hockey League because American Hockey League you'd go from Hershey to Binghamton and to all those teams, and then when you go to Northern Canada, like sorry, the East Coast, you just bust in Newfoundland, and I was like, screw that. But what I realized is when you go in the IHL of the days, it was a super tough league. Like if you didn't know how to fucking fight, you had no chance. And I remember that my first preseason game, we played against Peoria, and they had Tony Twist, they had Kelly Chase. I mean, fucking five others. Every team in that league had five goons, not five tough guys, five goons.
Right.
And I'm sitting there on the bench, and it's the first shift, and Lynn Gates fights Kelly Chase, demolishes him like I mean, uppercut, and I mean, Kenny Chase is just dragging by Link's shoulder, and every time Link's throw an uppercut, it just fucking it's his mouth, and it just bleeds and bleeds, and you can see like Kenny Chase's face just pop up every time. The ref are not doing nothing, and it's like right by our bench, and I'm like, Eddie Courtney's beside me. I'm like, Eddie, this is fucking unreal. So
Right.
but I'm on the third line with Eddie. So then that's it. Next shift, Kevin Evans goes against somebody else. Same fucking thing, like 5 minutes long. Blood. I turn around, I look at Eddie, and like Eddie, if it's like that, I'm done. I'm not playing hockey. Like this is not for me. I want to be in that league so bad, but so bad I want to get out. But after the rest of the game, then you figure it out, and I was fairly tough. So, and then I realized, okay, it was tryout. It was the first game. Guys want to, but
Right.
you don't see that nowadays. I mean, I get frustrated when I see hockey now because I'm like, fuck me. That would have been so easy now. You just tap the guy's fucking hand and you get it 2 minutes. So you're like, fuck, I'll go in the corner, no problem. Nobody's gonna hit me. I mean, in our days, I don't want to say that our days was better or we're tougher. It was completely different. I mean, like I said, if you didn't have five goons, or you only had three goons, you played against that and you intimidated and you won the game. Done. When we had Ciccone in our team, Kevin Evans, Lynn Gates, Scott Robinson, okay, we were 10-0. Nobody could beat us. They're all petrified. I mean, every one of them. So, but anyway, so long story short, I was happy to go away, and I was away until I was 50 when I came back. So I left my house at 16, and I came back at 50, and I'm 54. So yeah,
Put a ton to show for it, man. Like
yeah,
you
yeah,
just within that, just so many stories, just exciting. I'm fascinated by people like that who just kind of get out and go see the world, go do something in their profession, go climb, go see how far they can go. People like you fascinate me. So tell me what was it like being then drafted and having, like, what were some of the challenges you kind of went through without, having fluent language as soon as you kind of get to that spot?
Well, listen, I got intimidated big time because French guys were known to be pussies. They were known to be skilled, but
Okay.
they wouldn't go in the corners too much. They wouldn't fight too much. I was, and I don't want to brag it out, but I mean, look at my stats. I fought, I went the corners, and I did it all. But I had to prove myself. I mean, when I came in, and you go to camp, they want your job. Is this what it
Right.
is? I mean, they would
Yep.
call you froggy, fucking frog, fuck, and if you do nothing, you're fucked. You're done. So, it's like one time Larry De Palma, I remember, and we became very good friends. But Repo, was his nickname. I mean, the dude had a fucking mustache, like a killer, and like a guy that came out of prison for 10 years and fucking. So he came down from the show. He gets them down, and he plays, I don't know, maybe 5-6 games, and we do a scrimmage at the end of practice, and he slashes me like fucking hard on my shin pad. I turn around and fuck that. It was maybe 2 minutes left in the practice. Frenchie, tomorrow I'm gonna fucking beat the fuck out of you. You better fucking be right. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm petrified. Okay, I'm not kidding, because I don't know the guy. He looks like a killer. I'm like, fuck, is he gonna fucking throw his stick in my mouth? I don't know. I have no idea. So
Right.
we finished practice, right? My roommates at the time, because we were such tight ass, we were 4 guys living in Kalamazoo. We paid $120 a month each, but we had a blast. It was me, Eddie Courtney, Mario Thayer, and Brett Barnett. I had my own room. Mario had his own room. Eddie his own room. Brett Barnett was living on the couch. Okay, doesn't matter. So I go at night after practice. I pretend nothing happened. In my mind, I'm like, I gotta fucking fight tomorrow morning at practice. Larry De Palma, he's a killer. I go in my room, and I swear to God, I was doing fucking push-ups. I was swinging. I was practicing what I'm gonna do tomorrow, right? I swear to God. And then Eddie and Mario, Jeff, are you ready for tomorrow? Are you, like, they would keep on snapping, and I'm like, you fuckers, so I go to practice in the morning just to show you everything was intimidation. Okay. So I go to practice, nobody says a word. Nobody says it, because everybody know there's gonna be a fight when I step in the ice. Well, I'm like, fuck it. If I'm gonna fight, as well fucking do it like a big man. And so I'm like, I wait to be the last one on I want Repo, Larry to be on the ice first. Well, I jump on the ice, and I drop my glove, and I drop my stick. I'm like, let's go, warrior. But when I did that, he didn't want to fight me no more, because now it's like, whoop. Like, he was trying to intimidate, where I would fucking do nothing. He would abuse me, and they heard, no, I'm on the 4th line. He's on the 2nd line. That's it. Well, I came in on the ice, and that's when I realized that shit works. So
Right.
moving forward, I would be the intimidator. I was a froggy that nobody called me frog no more, because in practice, I would fucking run you over and fucking, you say something, I'd fucking go and fight. I mean, I learned that if I don't do it, they're going to do it. So,
Right.
so that, and my game changed, and my full mental, aspect of completely changed after that, because I realized that he had everything to lose by fighting me. If he fights me and I beat him up, Larry's not tough no more. Now it's done. So, but the best thing I did was coming on the ice and just dropping my glove and my mitt. And after that, it was over. The guys respected me. Nobody called me frog. So I was accepted. And I remember I demolished Kevin Kaminski in Fort Wayne one game. And that was it. I was like, but that was a bad move on my part, because after that, every time it was a 5-on-5, coach would say, Marcy would say, okay, Link, Chico, Evie, Robo. And then he'd be looking, and then he called me like, "You're the one who's gonna go." And I'd be like, Frenchie. I'm like, fuck. So then I would have to go and fucking, but but so there's good things that comes with it, good, bad things that comes with it. By the end of the day, I mean, I wouldn't change nothing in my career. Like, I got injured and, you get fucked by some coaches, but everybody does that. Everybody gets fucked. Everybody, it's all, at the end of the day, you look back at your old career and you say, did you have fun? Did you learn things? Did you travel? Was it absolutely, like I wouldn't change nothing of that.
What a message.
Yeah. So
no, that's an awesome message. Great message. That sounds like that's kind of how you found your thing then in hockey, was just the moment. That was the turning moment. It sounds
well, yeah, because in those days, if you were a pussy, you didn't go much far because people would intimidate you. And in those days, everybody had to know how to fight. Everybody had to be able to defend themselves and defend your teammate if you need. That's how the game was. And once you showed that to your teammates, I mean, they would go to war for you, because they knew you'd go to war for them. But if you didn't do that, the trust wasn't there, and they didn't like you. That's how it was. Now you could be the biggest fucking pussy. They don't give a fuck. And now they have their own road, their own room on the road. There's no two guys on the road. There's no roommates. There's no tight ship. It's a business. It was a business, but it was rare. Once you got accepted, you would try to fuck your teammates because you had that bond. I mean, it was different. Yeah, it was different. I mean,
and the other. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The other thing I was going to say too is, if you're soft, like your teammates can't trust you to have their back in a lot of situations, whether that be on the ice. And I've always said this about hockey and football. Hockey and football are different in the way that, like, you need the guy next to you because your life kind of depends on it.
Correct.
And I don't, and basketball and some other sports don't really fall down in that same line, tennis and different things. But like those two sports right there, I know for a fact, and obviously I coach football, you're in the hockey world. But those two seem to me are the two that, like, you got to have that brotherhood, because if not, things can go really, really south on and off the field or the ice.
Quick.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because if you're soft, I mean, there's one thing to not want to fight, but being tough, meaning going the corner first. And, like in football, you make that tackle, you're paying the prize. But there's being soft where you're not going to go in the corner. You're not going to fucking, defend your goalie if you get right. That's those guys. They didn't survive. They were gone. I mean, it was done. Because first of all, your teammates didn't want to. So once your teammate, you're gone. But there's tough and there's being soft. Yep. And you can be tough without fighting. If you could fight, it was great. But in my days, as soon as you were above 6'1", if you didn't know how to fight, it was harder because you had like basically a stigma on you that if you were that size, you have to be able to drop the glove once in a while, So
most definitely agree. Now, before I want to get back to stories, man, because I'm actually enjoying the hell out of this. But I do want to ask you this. So you're obviously somebody who I'm making a kind of an assumption here, but assuming that you watch a lot more hockey than I do. I just want to know, like, has the game changed a lot? Kind of similar to how football has, changed from, you watch football film from the 80s and 90s. It's nothing like today, just because of and NBA, really, basketball is the same way all the way through. Is hockey kind of followed that same trend?
I think so too. I mean, my kid played basketball. I mean, I watched the NBA. Those guys can fucking travel making 5 steps and they don't call it. And I'm like, fuck, it's true. It's crazy. It's all about revenue. It's all about show, in hockey. I mean, you hit the guy hard and with the shoulder down, they're going to give you a 2. They're going to give you 2. I mean, so everything for me seems faster, but the guys, I don't think they're faster. It's just that in our days, you couldn't skate 100 miles an hour because you had somebody holding you all the time, was sticking between your legs. Yes. Now those guys, nobody can touch them, so they're fucking flying. I'll tell you right now, I was very, very fast. But I was never able to go 100 miles an hour and go hit somebody because I had a stick in between my leg, I had a fucking guy holding me without calling penalties. Now, Guys are flying all the time. People say, "Oh, the game is so much faster." Fuck that! It's not faster. They let you skate faster.
Right.
You know?
It's just more being
Yeah,
let go as far as, or well, it's more physicality being disciplined, right?
that's
They're not.
right.
It's the same thing in football. Like I always say the same thing. They're like, athletes are so much different now in football, and I'm like, well, you also can't touch the quarterback or it's a flag. You
That's
also
right.
can't touch the receiver or it's a pass interference.
That's right.
The game is just different now. It allows teams to look like that, to go fast, to score a lot of points. To
Correct.
it just changed the game.
I mean, the behind the
It's
net,
interesting.
they increase the size, so you have more room behind the net. Well, of
It's
course, by doing that, you can't hit the guy as easy. In our days, you had fucking
right.
3 feet, so of course the guy would be on your way, and you get hit or so. It's. I mean, don't tell me that the guys are bigger now than they were before.
Right.
No, it's the same thing. I
Do
mean,
you think
guys are same thing.
do you think it's kind of went coincided with like society? Do you think
Oh
it's
yeah,
kind
oh
of like,
yeah.
as we've gotten softer, obviously that's kind of
Uh,
happened to our sports. Like, do you think that's just kind of why we see it in all three or all sports?
I mean, I want to vomit sometime when I see things like the leveling to the bottom shit like that, and everybody gets a medal. I'm
Oh,
like,
participation trophies. Yeah,
oh, like you go to a tournament, I go see
yeah,
you.
I hate it.
My kid play hockey. There's a kid in my team. My kid play house hockey. He never played hockey until we moved back to Montreal. So we had a team. He scored 3 goals and assists the first game. Gets player of the game. Second game, he gets 4 goals. He didn't get the player of the game because he had it the game before. We lost 6-4. The fuck.
Mm.
I mean, what?
What?
No, he was the best player of the game. Give it to him again. No, Dill Johnny had 0 fucking points, but I don't know how they picked him. I mean, the kid looked at me like, I scored 4 goals. I didn't get player of the game. No, that's sorry, Johnny, but that's not how it works no more. But that's how it is now. It's like, no, life is not like that. Life is about winning and losing. You
Right.
go to an interview and there's 50 guys in line. You don't get the freaking second place. You don't get the job. There's only
One of
one to get it.
them. One of
And it's like, and we're teaching kids that it's okay, you'll get it, or it's okay, you got screwed, or you got fucked, or it's not your fault, or no, it's your fault. You didn't prepare yourself enough, or
them.
you didn't fucking answer the right proper
That's the
question.
message.
You know,
What a message.
but it's life is winning or losing. If you lose, you don't get it. You don't get the money, you don't get the wife, you don't get nothing. You want that? Well, guess what? You got to work harder than the next guy. You got to want it more. You got to have passion. You got to wake up in the morning. You got to put the time. You got to do all those things, if you want it. Otherwise, you're not going to get it. I'm sorry. But nowadays, you might. Which, you
But
know,
that always seems to be temporary too.
it
But
is.
but that's the
Exactly.
problem, right? We just, like you just touched on. We can't. That's false. Like we can't keep giving people false.
No, it's going to come back where it's everything's a cycle, I believe. And it's going to come back where some kids that are 10, 15, 20, 25, when they hit 50, it might get really hard for them because they won't have a clue how to deal with that stuff. So,
Definitely
but
agree. And it's crazy because then people like you or people like me in the coaching world, even we get criticized
uh,
for being like that, like for just standing up for like being accountable and choosing to get better at things instead of complaining. And it's wild to me. It's a crazy, crazy world. I do got to ask about this, just out of curiosity, because I know you said your kids play basketball. What is this house hockey though?
okay,
Just
so
like, do you
yeah,
guys got a setup or something?
well, in Quebec, hockey is everything. If basically your kid don't play hockey, you're retarded. Okay, no, but that's how it is. Hockey, I think in Quebec, I think it's becoming where it's not, it's sick. It's for me but basketball is becoming more popular, big time, faster. It's less expensive. You don't have to rent the ice, and you don't have to. You can play basketball 12 months in a year. You go find a gym, you go shoot a basket outside. Football is the same thing. So hockey is everything. The parents, especially the parents that never played sports, they think hockey is it. So you have AAA, which is the best. Then you have double A, double B, double C, which is travel hockey. That means you travel. You go further where you go 30 minutes to play against this team. And house hockey is the kids that are not very good. So you have A, B, and C level. So when you play a house, like an example in my hometown, in our organization, when you play travel hockey, your tracksuit is red. If you play house, your tracksuit is blue. So everybody got to make sure that there's a difference
Okay.
between red and blue. Okay. So when I coach, I went to the trainer, the trainer, what is the pro shop, and he's the one who sells and they had told me, I said, you need to wear a tracksuit. Well, I don't fucking know that red is travel and blue, and you can't wear blue if you can't wear red if you're not travel, because we got to know that you're a shit player, so you got to wear blue.
Right.
So I'm like, there was no X large. The only X large was red. And he's like, yeah, but that's for travel. I'm like, fuck travel hockey. You didn't need a fucking red one. And I wore the red one, and I had to take it out a week later. Couldn't wear the red one. I mean, this is how stupid it is, but that's how it is. So the parents here, they will do everything to play travel hockey, just so people say, "Oh, my kid plays travel. Who gives a fuck?" You know how hard it is to play in the NHL. You know how hard it is to play major, junior. You know how it is to play midget, AAA. It is so hard. I mean, you can have the talent, like you have to have passion first of all, and the parents can have the passion. But then again, it's the kid who has to have the passion. And you won't know until the kid is 14, 15. I mean, I went to the gym because I want to go to the gym. At 15 on Friday night, I would go to the gym because I'm not going out. I'm doing my gym. I'll go at 11. I'm doing my gym.
Great.
I mean, so you have to have the passion. Everybody's good at everything, like everybody. But to be great, you have to have passion. That shit will make you fucking seamlessly wake up earlier than the other one. Work out twice a day without fucking thinking and loving it. I mean, that's what it is. So if your kid don't have the passion, dude, just put an X on it and fucking have him have fun, have him play. But he's not gonna go because he doesn't have the passion. You can want to drive your kid from point A to point B every day. If the kid doesn't want to put the time and the effort, sorry, hon, but this is not going to happen. So me here, I see all those parents. They're fucking crazy. I mean, I get it. I want my kid to be the best he can be at everything. But at one point, he has to want to be the best at one also.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? I'll drive him. I'll give him everything. But the day that I see that he's not putting 100% or he's not, I'm going to slow down. He's still going to play, but I'm going to slow down, But me, I think it's more like the message of put 100% into it. Like an example, I'm not very good looking. Okay. I'm going to try to get the best looking girl I can. She might be an 8. But for me, an 8 is fucking 11. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to put, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to try to be smooth. I'm going to try to buy her the drink. I'm going to try to be funny. I'm going to try to put everything in my odd to get the best looking girl possible, that I can. Well, it's the same thing. If my kid, an example, wants to be the best hockey player he can, and he thinks that it's not B level, it's A level, if he reached A level, I'm ecstatic for him because he worked hard and he outperformed when he got his goal. And it's not AAA, it's not double, it's not travel, but it's A level. For me, fucking great. You're the best in hockey that you can be. And that's A level, fantastic. And I'll drive you and I always say it, kids that still play hockey at bantam, meaning at 13, 14, 15, and they play house level, that's because they love hockey more than the kid that plays travel, because who wants to play house hockey at 14, 15? That's because they really love it. Otherwise, they'll quit, but they still play.
Right.
No, that's because they really have passion. And those kids, they work so hard. They're just not good. They're just not the talent, but they work so hard.
They want to be.
Yeah. And those are the kids that sometimes like, gosh, you want to help them. You want shit because you want them to be the best they can be, because that's what they want, and they're putting the effort. They're working twice as hard. The guy that has the talent and everything, but he just doesn't have the work ethic, or he's just soft, or and mom and dad always gave them everything. He's got this skate that's worth $1,000 and he doesn't skate fast, so
tells them everything.
Yeah. And
that they want to hear.
Yeah. And right there, I think it's a lesson for life. That's what life lesson is. It's when you're young, that's where your path is basically dictated. How you're going to live your life. Are you going to be a great person, a great work ethic, somebody who's going to be able to mentor people because you've been mentored, or are you going to be a piece of shit who fucking doesn't work with everything in his life? And I mean, I think the foundation is there, you know. So, but yeah, it's in Quebec. There's a big, there's a big, it's a big deal if you play travel hockey versus house hockey, and at the end of the day, they're all going to fall the same place. They're going to go to school or they're going to get a job, unless the dice fall in. But like in my days, there was 20 teams in the NHL, only 20. Now there's 32.
I was just going to say there's what, 32 now?
Yeah. So there was a lot less room to play in the NHL. I'm not saying the dice fell right for me, but I mean, I did the right things and stuff. But at the end of the day, when you see the stories, some kids got hurt, and at the end of the day, there's a lot of kids that are really good. You just an injury or one bad shift, or a coach don't like you, and I mean, it's easy. So
it's a lot of variables that go into making it to that level. But I think one super important thing about what you said is you have to be willing to choose to go to the gym on Friday night instead of go out, or nowadays instead of sit on your phone TikToking.
Exactly.
You got to be willing to do the things, but then because you do that, that's what's crazy though, is we always say in coaching, right? Control the controllables. So you want to work as hard as you can, and then if everything falls in your favor, let it be that way. If it didn't, then let you at least, shoot for the stars, land on the moon, see what happens.
I 100% agree with. Give everything you have, and at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, you can go and say, I gave everything I had, it just didn't work out. But you have no regrets. And living with regrets, it's not a good thing. Like how many times you went to the bar and you need to go ask that girl, and you came back and you had regrets all night. No, what I'm saying is there's no fuck, give everything you have, prepare yourself right, and then at the end of the day, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not meant to be, you can say, you know what, I gave everything I have. So
I love that.
That's all I do.
I love it. I think you're a very honest, real person, man. I think you understand a lot of stuff. Just out of curiosity, and before we move on to this question, I will say that hockey, like football, like any sport, it should really be a vessel to teach you whatever level you get to. It really, to me, it should be a vessel to teach you things, teach you discipline, teach you how to get healthy habits. It's healthy to lift weights, man, and go to a gym, and hockey taught you that, right? So it should be a vessel, whether you play house hockey, travel, NHL. It's a vessel for you, and it should always. Sports, to me, if you're going to commit, you should. It's just my opinion, right? And we're battling this, especially with today's generation, but you should commit, and you should want to use it as not just something to have fun and play, but you should use it to learn how to be competitive. You should use it to have basically a tool belt for yourself.
Well, listen to this one. My kid, okay, he just turned 14 yesterday. So,
happy birthday!
Yeah. So, with sports, you travel a lot and stuff here in Quebec. When you tournaments, you go sometime away. But me, basketball, he's got practice. And I remember my dad was a supervisor of teachers, and one year he got the office where the building where he was on was getting remodeled, so he had to be based in my high school. Okay, so he was starting his day at 9 o'clock. Our school started at 8:30. Well, he wanted me to sleep because I was growing. So when I had a shitty class, like an example, gym class or arts or whatever, he would let me come with him at 9 a.m. so I can sleep more. Okay, well, I have that same philosophy with my kid. I take him out of school a lot. Okay, like he'll text me, he'll say, Papa, I got a study class and my last class. Is that okay? I said, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll go pick you up. So sometime all of a sudden I get a phone call from the principal, Mr. Quintin. Yeah, your kid is missing a lot of school. I'm like, well, what class is it? Well, he's missed here, he's missed. Yeah, it's because he has sports. That's what I said. I said, because he has sports. He says, yeah, but school is. I said, no. I said, let me explain to you something. I said, school is really important in life. It only gives you academics. That's what I said. I said, sports will give you all other attributes that you need in life to be successful. So I said, for me, school and sports is 50-50. So I said, my kid will miss school once in a while because he must learn how to be a team player, how to work, how to have a work ethic, how to be disciplined, how to be. I said, is my kid's grades are slacking? I said, no. I said, when I take him out, he knows that he has to study. He knows he has to do his, his work has to be done. So all that, those attributes that you learn in sports, you don't learn that in school. In
Right.
school,
I
you
agree.
learn how to do a test. You learn how to study. You don't learn how to be a team player, how to be disciplined, how to the work
Agreed.
ethic. You don't learn that. You learn that in sports and or whatever hobby you have. So for me, it's because I did it. And for me, I learned. So for me, that's the way that I want to teach my kid. Some of the people might do it a different way, which is completely fine. But me, it worked. And I want my kid to learn that way too. So, but when she told me that, I said, no, no, no. I said, sorry, but sports is as important as school, if not more. So
Right.
don't, you know,
You know, I mean, the way like, obviously, to be transparent, like, I don't do it that way, but like the way you put that, like, that's a very, very, very interesting. I'm very open-minded too, so I'm not a closed-minded, I know everything type of person. All my ways are right, you know what I mean? That's a super, super interesting way to go about it, and a lot of super credible points, like, honestly.
but
A lot
my
of
kids,
stuff I
but
agree.
my kid has to have the grades. I mean,
Right,
I'll take it.
that's a
But
big
if
part of
if
it.
he doesn't have the grade, no, I gave you the. Now you didn't do your job. You didn't do your attributes that you're supposed to do. So now you're gonna stay in school and you're gonna do studying. But if I take you out and grades are great, then I know that it's working, and he knows how to freaking manage both of them, which is
And he's getting
fantastic. And
results.
now, yeah. So,
That's
but
awesome, though.
she didn't like it too much. she can't. She didn't want to hear that answer. Oh,
But the problem is it was so reasonable. Like,
yeah, yeah,
a reasonable
she.
answer.
It was we got the phone. Everything was fine. So, but no, but I don't think she expected that answer.
Right.
So when I told her, I said, no, no, no. I said, look, sports is as important as school, and he's gonna keep missing school.
Yeah,
I
that's,
was,
I'm sure to any school administrator or teacher, I'm sure that's, not the answer that they're looking
no,
to hear.
no.
Well, like I said, man, the way you put it is it's a lot of points to it, to be honest. It's a lot
Uh,
of great points to that. Out of curiosity, to kind of go back, but I wanted to, I like the stuff you were touching on earlier, and before I forget this question, I wrote it down. Do you still talk to a lot of those guys, a lot of the guys that you played with throughout the years?
yeah, I talked to Ciccone once in a while, but the problem is I talked to Stefan Beauregard, but I talked to guys that most I didn't play with, like I played against, because
Okay.
like an example in Kalamazoo, there was only two French guys there. I talked to Mario Thayer once in a while. We went on a golf trip together, but no, we have kids, we have lives, so it's but
Right.
Mario Thayer, Enrico Ciccone from Kalamazoo, uh, San Jose, not too much. JF Jean for playing Anaheim. So there's like 4 or 5 guys that I touch base a lot with them. Guys that I play in junior because we have those reunion, those 1 year reunion where we hook up, and so. But it's hard when you play against or with international people. They all go back to their Sweden or Russia. Or there's one guy actually that I'm very close to is Nicholas Brandstrom. His kid plays for Ottawa Senators, but I played with him in Germany, and when his kid got drafted by Vegas, I watched a World Junior play, and he was playing for Sweden against Canada, World Junior, like I don't know, like 5 6 years ago, and I see Brandstrom. I'm like, "Fuck, is that Nicholas' kid?" So that's a good trick. So I texted Nicholas, like, Nicholas, is this you? He said, yeah. He said, it's him. He got drafted last year, 15th overall by Vega. I'm like, fuck. I said, that's great. I said, yeah. I said, fantastic. I said, is that the kid when we're in Germany at the Christmas party that your wife had her shirt off and she was fucking breastfeeding him, and we're singing her titty, and he's like, yeah, that's him. So I remember in Germany,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, he was sucking on his wife's boobies, and we were all and all 5 Canadians were like all in shock, like, I mean, are you kidding me? And but
What a story.
this was Europe, right? And I remember like it was him playing the World Junior. Next thing you know, I'm in Kansas City when I'm like, hey, when he goes to Vegas, come in, I'll go see. I said, great. Well, he gets traded to Ottawa for Mark Stone. So when he goes to Ottawa, I moved to Montreal. So now every time that Nicholas comes and sees his kid twice a year in Ottawa, I make the trip, which is an hour, and we'll up and we have a blast. And so,
That's
but yeah,
awesome,
it's
man.
a funny story. Yeah.
No, that's incredible. What it just to hear the people that you've met through the journey too is what amazes me too, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
met
Yeah.
you've met some people and had some incredible experiences. I love it. That I honestly love it. Do you this was kind of one of my questions, and now that you were kind of speaking to some of those, what were some of the differences playing hockey or just being over there that you endured while you were over in Germany and Slovenia and some of the other places that you were out of the States here and even out of Canada?
Well, when I went to Slovenia, I was supposed to, I was that year, I was supposed to go play in Switzerland. Well, in the summer, I had a foundation with Stefan Beauregard, and I blew my knee playing a softball tournament, and I blew my knee, so I was out until December 24th, 25th. Well, anyway, so my agent would call me and said, Jeff, you gotta play somewhere before Christmas, otherwise it carries over. Like you gotta play, you cannot play for a year. I said, yeah, but I can't, not ready. So anyway, long story short, I'm doing rehab in Montreal. My wife finally texts me, says, "Well, if you're not coming back to Kansas City, we're done. Like, like we're not going to be apart." So I moved to Kansas City. I moved back to Kansas City. So I got hurt in Montreal, but I was living in Kansas City. So I was stuck in Montreal because I couldn't put any weight on my leg for like 8 weeks. It was like stupid. So finally go to Kansas City. My agent would shoot me email or text, "Hey, I got a contract. November 15th. I'm not ready. November 30th, not ready." So anyway, December 23rd, I get signed to go to Slovenia. I think it's Slovakia. Okay, because I have no fucking idea about Europe. I just know I'm going to Slovakia, near Russia, whatever, somewhere in Europe. I'll take the flight, they'll pick me up, right? So the deal was I was getting paid 15,000 cash when I get there. Then 15,000, so it was December 23rd I got there. Then 15,000 cash January 1st, 15,000 cash January 15, February 1st, February 15, March 1st, and then another 15 if we win everything. Well, I get there the 23rd, okay? Because the 26th, we're playing against the rival, the other team that in Slovenia. Well, I get there, fucking this guy picks me up in a little dinky car that fucking could barely walk, and I'm like, start freaking saying, okay, Italy this way. And I'm like, how the fuck is Russia near Italy? I'm like, there's no way I'm in fucking the right place, right? So I finally see, I'm like, ask the guy who could barely speak English. I'm like, what the fuck are we here? Oh, it's Slovenia. I'm like, fuck, so we had no phones. I'm like, Slovenia. So I get to the hotel, and Yves Héroux, who played in Peoria, who's a French guy, was in the team. Like, what the fuck are we here? Says, you're in Slovenia, playing the Alpine League against Austria and Italy. I'm like, okay. so but the kicker is the 26th of December we play against, and then after we didn't play until the 5th of January. They didn't get the transfer card from Canada the
Oh,
26th because the office are closed the 24th and 25th. So I got paid when I got there 15 grand. I got paid January 1st, 15 grand. I didn't play a game. They weren't happy. So I was an artist. So they were like, you fucking. So it was the biggest. I never party hard like that for a week and a half. It was like I had freaking free money. I was partying. They would play. So next thing you know, it's January 15. I think I had 2 game play. I had 45 grand. Fucking US stuck into my shoes under my bed. I was at the hotel and I was like, fucking do not disturb in my room. I mean, it was the
oh
best.
my
I
gosh.
made more money that 3 months there than I think I made like 90,000 cash US dollar and I
Wow.
fucking played 25 games, but they
Wow.
weren't happy that they didn't get the card. But I was like, so they had to pay me, but I had 30 grand and I paid 0 game yet. I had freaking, it was like 16 years old to go out. It was a socialist country. So, I mean, everything went cigarette and whatever. But
Right.
I mean, when I came back, but it was the best thing for me because I wasn't quite ready because when you say everything is meant to be and when you do the right thing, everything falls in places. Well, that 2.5 extra week was perfect for me because I got to skate more and learn there the bigger ice. And so it seemed to me that everything was meant like that, something that place where I wouldn't lose a step back, and 3 months of that I sang in Germany. Then he went back normal. But I think it was funny when I say that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great story, man. I
Yeah.
bet that was living life there for a minute, not having to
Oh
play,
my gosh.
kind of settling in and enjoying it.
I remember I had to go get the money. It was right beside the rink. It was like a little fucking little trailer, like those trailer park that you hook on the jack.
Yeah.
But everything was run by mafia, so nobody would dare, rub that place. But I remember I'd go in, hi Quintin, she would just take the drawer, not even lock, metal, click, give me an envelope with just freaking 15,000 in it, not look at me, I would leave.
Why?
I mean, she didn't even ask for 90, nothing. I mean, it was just like, I mean, swear to God, he could have been Johnny and fucking, what's my money? I just gave it to you. No, that wasn't you. Like, no.
Oh, what? That's
Yeah.
wild, man.
Yeah.
And then you had it stuffed under the mattresses and never.
Absolutely.
Looking like a straight mafia guy out there.
Then finally, I opened an account in Austria Bank, transferred to Zurich, which in those days, now the Swiss bank doesn't matter no more. But yeah, but I remember like I didn't want fucking maid to come in my room at all because I had a bed and I had like a little drawer. I'm like, where the fuck can I hide my money? It was under the bed, But yeah,
the old school way, right
there. Yeah.
So I got a question from Jeff, real quick. Jeff, what is that? What is that pronounced? Is that what it says? Okay. So we had shout out to Jeff Hill over at Sports Cravings, by the way, or Craving Sports Cards. But he asked if Rico Ciccone was Madonna's cousin. That was the rumor.
No, it's not.
Not true?
Not true.
All right, breaking news right here on the pod. Not true.
Yeah, I got a good one about Slovenia too.
Okay.
When I'm playing there, my wife comes and see me for 2 weeks. At the time, we weren't married, we were dating, we had no kids. So she comes, and the hotel was right beside the rink. So after the game, she came straight to the hotel, and I come back after the game. She's in the balcony smoking a cigarette and crying. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? Did I play that bad? Or like, what, she doesn't know nobody. So I come in, I go in, she says, you've been buying porn the whole time. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Well, in Slovenia, you had hardcore porn from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. until 4 a.m. every day on regular TV. She thought I was running the fucking tab all fucking night watching porn, right? All the time.
Oh, man.
I'm like, no. It's free, Catherine. And on Sunday, it was gay porn from 10 to 4. So, swear to God. So she thought I was just running the tab and whatever, doing my business. I said, no. So she had fucking thrown the TV and I'm like, no. But she was bawling and thinking that
And that's why she came there?
No, but she came to see me for 2 weeks because I was there
for 3 months. She was just coming to visit, and then
that's right. She fucking scrolled the TV, and next thing you know, see hard porn. She's like, fuck, what the? So she's smoking a cigarette, crying. I'm like, no, this is not it.
He said, free. Things got. We have different customs here.
That's right. It's free. It's great.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
How far is it to go from how far is it even to get to a place like that?
Well, actually, it's not.
What did you have to go through to travel, or what did she tell you guys?
Yeah, I think I just flew KC to New York or something like that, and then New York to directly to Slovenia, maybe to I don't know, France or Frankfurt but Slovenia. It's not a big airport. It's Ljubljana is the capital city. It's like the whole country is 2 million and Ljubljana is 500,000. Beautiful. But that's why when I got there, Slovenia used to be part of Yugoslavia. So if you just say you're going to Yugoslavia, I know where I'm going. But you say Slovenia or Croatia or Bosnia in those days. So, but when I was there is the year that we had the war in Kosovo. So on the north side, you had in Asiago in Italy anyway, that's where the air base was based out. So every night at 3 a.m. they would fly over us and go bomb Kosovo. So everybody was worried because at one point they came near Bosnia and then they were saying that maybe they're going to invade Croatia and then Slovenia, but it never happened. But it was during that time, during the Kosovo war. So
That was when you were over there?
Yeah, correct.
So that was
Correct.
pretty. That's kind of a nervous time to be somewhere else that you're starting to become familiar with. What a lot of change, man, to go chase. I mean, a lot of balls, a lot of just willingness to go chase something that you're not even 100% sure how it's going to work out, and then to deal with all that stuff on top of it.
Oh,
That's
trust me. Once I got that 30 grand after 2 weeks, I was like, I'm fucking playing Europe. I'm staying here, dude. I'm not going anywhere.
like actually this is pretty sweet over
This is
here.
pretty good. Ain't on the count around here.
I love it, man. I love it. Did you have any superstitions or anything in hockey, or did you believe in anything you had to do before games, anything like that?
Yeah, I would pray. I become really really spiritual when I was like 20. When I came in the US and I was alone, and I always believe me, like you need to believe in something, right? Whether it's Buddha or your fucking mom or whatever it is, you need to believe in something. You need to fall and talk to something. So
Agreed.
me, I was by myself, and my first year, it was hard. Like it's an intimidation and not knowing, and not playing as much because you're a rookie and you have to make your proof. And so it was really hard. So I became, I prayed a lot. So it became one of my ritual because it worked. So then I had to pray the night before. I had to pray before my game. I had to pray right before the warm up, and then that was it. But I had to pray 3 times in that, say, 12-hour span, and that, yeah, I became. And then eventually, when I spoke English, I went to church because I could hear I could understand what the church. But yeah, so I became spiritual, and I believe that I was Catholic because I was born Catholic, and if I would have been born in the Middle East, I'd probably be Muslim. So me, whatever it doesn't matter as long as you believe in something. I think it's great, and if you don't believe in something but you believe in yourself, it's great too. But I don't discriminate at all if you're, Muslim, a Christian, or a Baptist, or because we are who we're born. Like we are what we're born. Like
Just believe in
it's
something.
that's right. Believe in something, and go for it.
Yeah,
So
that's a great message. Well, that's an incredible message. So before we got a couple more questions here, but I was told to ask this one, and I don't want to forget this before I move on. You got any good enforcer stories?
like me fighting or from people fighting.
You know what do you got?
Uh, my favorite one is when I beat Kevin Kaminsky, Killer Kaminsky. I mean, I don't think he had an idea. I think he thought it was going to be a cakewalk. And I remember like maybe 2 months before that, he had fucking beat the shit out of Mario Thayer. And Mario wasn't a fighter. And we couldn't do nothing because everybody grabbed somebody. So I go maybe 2 months later, I go hit him in the corner. And as soon as I hit him, he turns around and two-handed me. And I'm like, well, fuck it. I can't back up now. It's
Right.
Imperial Yanya, that fat guy in the stand that, whatever. So I fight, and Kevin wasn't ready, and I left him, and then I think I threw 5, 6 punches, and I fucking connected like in his face, like every punch, like, and I have on video, but bam, 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 and he fucking fell off. And then we played in the playoff against Fort Wayne, and it was like 3-1 for them, and there's like 3 seconds left in the game. Game is over. So they had Stephen Fletcher, Kevin Kaminsky, Tom Carlis, Robin Bawa, another one. I had fought Killer Kaminsky, I had fought Robin Bawa, and I had fought Tom Carlis. Never. So the coach, here he goes, says, okay, Robo, Gator, Chico, blah, blah, blah. And then the fifth one is like Frenchie. I'm like, fuck. The open spot is where Killer Kaminsky is at right wing. I'm like, I'm going to have to fight that guy. It's 3-1. There's 3 seconds left. Fuck me, right? So, no, that's what I got. So I go in the ice. Thank God Scott Robinson is at center. He comes, hits me on the pad, says, you got center. We do nothing. I'm like, fuck it. Hey, bro. So I go at center. The ref fucking don't even move his arm to put the puck down. As soon as he step up his arm, Stephen Fletcher dropped the glove and fucking took a whack at me. I just had time to fucking duck. He hits my helmet. I go straight to Tom Carlis because I know I can beat him up, but not Stephen Fletcher. So I go to Tom Carlis. Next thing is 5-on-5. Everybody's fighting except me and Tom Carlis. I'm like, sweet. And Tom Carlis is like, hey, French, I didn't know you were that tough. I'm like, yeah, you better. And then we talk, he's French. So we danced the whole time, and it was a free for all for like 5 minutes. But the other five guy was, I was supposed to be the only one fighting Kevin
Right.
Kaminski, and they all fought except me. It was great. So,
I love it.
but yeah, but me, what really helped me, because in junior I was a goal scorer. Like I had like 160 points, and in my team, I was a scorer, and I was tough, but my coach didn't want me to fight because we weren't very good. So uh, we do the All Star game. In the All Star game, it was Quebec against Ontario, and that was every year. Yes, this day there's only had been one fight in the All Star game, and it's me against a guy from the Ontario League, and I didn't beat him up. I had him the first half, but then he got me the second half. But every scout is there. So
Mm.
I raised my stock big time because now they saw that at penalty minutes, but I was playing Chamonix, which was very far. So the only time they saw us play is when we go somewhere. Okay. So now they saw me and they're like, okay, so my stock value went up big time. And that's when I came to camp, there was okay, this guy knows how to fight because the guy I fought was drafted by the North Stars the year before. So I was like, fuck, I'm going to have to fight him again. And never fought him. He was my friend. Like, he didn't want to fight me because he had everything to lose. So long story short is that was probably my signature move for my career is that fight because everybody knew I could score and I could,
Right.
put points on the table, but there was not many scored that, and that really helped me because I remember two scouts came saw me in the weight room, the training room because I got cut, and they were like, "Hey, next time make sure you throw left first." And then I'm like, "Look, I just fucking swing. I'm just happy to, I was thinking that, but that raised my stress. So I think that for me was not a pinnacle, but something that really, really, and I got confident out of that because when I went to the IHL, when I knew I could fight, because until you do it and until you win fights, you're nervous. Not nervous to lose. You're nervous because you don't know, it's the unknown. You don't know if you're gonna get, you're gonna get knocked out, and
Knocked out, right.
nobody wants to do that because then it's not good for your career either. So, but no, so those two I think for me were the two best one. I mean, I fought Steve Martinson. I fought a lot of guys, but you know, to fight and actually knock somebody out is hard. To
Yeah.
fight, so when you do that, that's the one you like, right? So the one Kevin Kaminski for me is the one that I'm proud of, and the one in junior is the one I'm proud of, not because I beat him up, not at all, because I didn't. It's because I proved something, to the rest of the league and to the scouts that I was not just a scorer, I was a tough guy too, and I could defend myself. So, yeah.
That's big time. I love that. Memories,
Yeah.
man, and points that may not be pinnacles, but turning points in
Yeah.
career for sure. Are you involved in hockey today, or are you just kind of a fan?
I was, but now I'm not allowed to coach no more because I'm too hard on the refs. So that's what I got. So, my team, like I coached 3 years in a row, house level, right? And for me, winning is always important. But if I do something, I have to win. Like, I'm not gonna go crazy, but I'm gonna my
Trying to
practice
win.
my practice will be harder because like I told the people they don't like it when I say that. I said, look, guys, you guys have a high school diploma in hockey. I got a doctorate degree in hockey. So of course my team are gonna be because I know the drills, I know what so
Hmm.
my team were always like, top 3 out of 24. But I don't know if I don't want to say I don't like refs. I If they make a bad call, I'm just gonna say something. But when they make two bad calls, an example, and I say because I'm very competitive, I say, hey, well, Jeff, you're up 4-0. You didn't say that to me, right? You're gonna tell me you didn't call the penalty because we're up 4-0? No, your job is to ref. Your job is not to dictate the game. Next thing you know, it's third period, it's 4-3. It's always like this, right? And me, it's like my kids are working hard. Don't penalize them because they're working harder and they're getting the result. That's what I'm sorry when I'm talking about the living to the bottom and stuff. That's how we are now. And I dislike that. So when the ref says to, well, you can't talk to the ref. I said, no. If you make a bad call, you make 2 or 3 bad, I'm going to talk to you. Of course, you're not going to dictate the game or be lazy. We're paying you. What I want you to just be fair. I make error, no problem, but don't tell me that we can't talk to you. And so, but I'm very competitive, so it's best for me to not coach at this level because so this year I'm laying back and we have a great team, good coaches, and my kids love it, and I'm just chilling in the stands, and you know what? It's a good spot for me at my age.
But you get to enjoy the game now.
Exactly.
And enjoy the kids growing up too.
Exactly.
Amazing though, man. So hey, man, this has been an awesome conversation. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're gonna have to talk to Josh and Jeff. This was a great one. We're gonna have to get you back on sometime, man. If you don't,
anytime.
Share some more stories, talk some more hockey. This was honestly a great conversation. Before we jump out of here, I got to give some credit to a couple of students here in Monroe County, our athletes of the week. Blake Cosby of Dundee Wrestling won 6 matches to win the 144-pound championship at the Brecksville Invitational. McKenna Galler, Erie Mason girls basketball, 14 points, 14 rebounds, and a win versus Gabriel Richard. Honorable mention, Colin Nowak from Airport. He had 17 points. He hit 5 of 6 free throws that gave Airport they gave them their win over Dundee, the first Dundee loss of the season. So congratulations to Airport on that as well. Jessica Schrader, Ida girls basketball. She had 22 points, 14 in the fourth quarter as Ida beat Flat Rock. And those are our Monroe County athletes of the week. You can find Kennedy Health and Wellness on Facebook and Instagram, or KennedyHealthWellness.com. Find our friends here at Brain Jerk on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can find Kicking It with Coach K on Facebook and Instagram. Is there any links that you'd like to drop today, sir, for anybody that might want to get a hold of you, look you up? Maybe is there any place we can find you?
Talking about me?
Yep.
No, just enjoy the show and
awesome.
And work hard. Work hard and go for your dreams. That's it.
Yep. Take something from you. Left a lot of great messages today. Take something from this show. We appreciate you guys tuning in. It's been a great 2023. It's over now. It's time to flip the page and get ready for what's going to be a massive 2024. We are back on January 7th. We will see you guys with Coach Rapley and some of the Belleville Tigers to talk about their past football season. So, again, thank you, man. Appreciate you, and we will definitely be in touch.
Sounds good. I appreciate that. It was really fun.
Awesome.
Thanks.